Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is Brandon. He was kind enough to invite me to his home. It's a real beautiful place on the lake.
Thank you.
He's on a spiritual quest just to better himself. He dabbles with psychedelics and other things like that, and he's met a lot of people that are like either shamans, witches. He has a lot of friends that are fortune tellers or psychics, as they say.
Yeah, psychics,
Yeah,
healers of all types, all
yeah,
modalities.
yeah. How's it going, dude? How are you?
I am fantastic. Best day of my life, like every day has been for over a month now.
That's awesome. Why is it like the best day of your life? I'm just wondering.
It just gets better and better. It's I just can't put it into words. I just keep my daily practice going, which is pretty much just stay away from sugar,
Uh huh.
stay away from processed foods, and trust in the universe, and it
How,
works out great.
how does that help you, bro? Just staying away from like processed foods
Oh,
and
that's
staying away from
everything.
sugar.
I think that's like the baseline for anybody out there. Like
Really?
yeah, I think if you're struggling and you're kind of stuck in a space, I think just clean up your diet. Just drink some pure water, drink plenty of water, and stay away from sugar and processed foods.
And processed
Simple.
foods.
hmm
Oh man, yeah. I mean, processed foods I really don't eat. Maybe popcorn. I don't know if that's is that
Yeah,
processed
no,
food.
I definitely I don't have any dietary restrictions,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. Okay, cool.
I definitely indulge in stuff from time to time.
So don't eat McDonald's like three times, four times a
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That shit is garbage.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, man. So you started this like spiritual quest or just like awakening.
Yeah.
What got you into it?
Got slapped straight dab in my face,
Yeah,
man.
that's how it usually
I
happens.
was 26 years old. I had a baby girl and had a friend who was in this Christian church, and they like raised their hands and talked to Jesus or God or something.
Like,
And
like hallelujah, and then
yeah, yeah, like it was like extreme to me. You know,
okay,
I grew up in Oregon, in Corvallis, Oregon, nice little college town, and had a pretty normal life. You know,
yeah,
and had no religious influence, was pretty much an atheist,
like
basically.
agnostic or atheist.
Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
in between,
like
somewhere in the middle.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's something I
I'm
don't know
not
what
like
it is.
extreme, like,
Yeah,
I'm an
yeah, yeah.
atheist, but I just never pondered it deep enough, I guess. I thought I was a deep person, and it turns out the world is an ocean of insanity
The
and
universe, bro.
possible. The
The
multiverse.
multiverse. Oh man, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, bro. So you got into it, and then like what, like you
well,
said someone asked you a question like, "Who are you?" Right?
yes, yes.
That is the ultimate
So
question, though.
that was the second part. The first part was I asked my friend that was in this church, like, "Hey, what's the last thing you asked God?" And he was like, "I asked him if I should call this girl I like." And I'm like, "Oh my God, do you know how stupid that sounds? Like, are you serious?" And I really felt like I lost a friend. I felt like he did too many drugs or something
Hmm.
and melted his brain and was like some psychotic crazy fool. And then so I asked him, "Well, ask God this and ask God that." And he was like, "Okay." And he did it a few times. He's like, "Well, maybe you should try." So I was just sincere as fuck, excuse my language, but I was just sincere as shit. And I was just like, looked to the sky and I was like, "All right, God, why did you damage my knees and my wrists and just all these things
So
that."
you're in a bad place in your life. Can you say that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like angry?
I was frustrated and angry.
You're
Yeah, I've
frustrated and
always
angry.
had an anger issue
Okay.
until like uh, it's been I've been chipping away at it for a long time.
Good. Keep chipping, bro.
Right, right. Well, it's pretty much gone now. Like
Good.
it's pretty much just people I really, really care about and love can push
What
my
do you mean?
buttons.
What do you mean angry? Like you would just like love to fight or like self-loathing?
Well, I was an undefeated street fighter back in the day.
You were?
Yeah, you don't know this about me, but I'm like a kind of a lifelong kickboxer
You are?
and blue belt in jujitsu. Like my knees got bad, so I couldn't continue that.
But you just take you to the street?
Yeah, but back in the day, yeah, it was the '90s. You know, I grew up,
Dude, you are
graduated.
like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
And then he
totally.
got into spiritual.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he was into mixed martial
yeah.
arts and he got into a spiritual quest. So you asked him?
So yeah, I asked him how he felt about his friend being in the same church, and he was. We already had like a real powerful conversation where he kind of laid in like the last 20 pieces of things that I needed to hear to have this experience happen, and he was just like, "Well, who, who are you?" And he just kind of had his hands up to his mouth like this, and he was like, "Okay, well, who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm Brandon Steigel." And he's like, "Okay, that's good. Go deeper." I was like, "Well, I'm a crazy cool motherfucker." And he's like, "That's good. Go deeper." And I was like, "I love fighting. I love my family, I love sex, I love this and that. As soon as I ran out of who I thought I was, my life flashed before my eyes. And take in mind, this all happened in an instant, like just a snap.
Yeah, snap
Like,
of a finger.
like, so he asked me who I was over and over again. I went, life flashed before my eyes. It was like a VCR reel. Excuse me, slowed down in all these places where where I remember being in like tough times. Like
Yeah.
I remember like crying in my room when I was like 6 years old, stuff like that, right up until the present moment. And then
All that happened in an instant.
all in an instant, and it was like a 25-minute experience, just like we're
And you
talking here,
did
25 minutes.
did you feel all that, like emotionally, frustrations, all that
Yeah,
stuff?
it was like like I went through it all.
Wow.
Yeah, I processed a lot, and then I found myself up in this white. It was kind of like a cloud. It was kind of like a white room, and there was just like these other, there was like three translucent beings floating around with like this. It's actually something I'd seen on mushrooms before, but I'd forgotten it because it was like a dream. It just kind of got erased. And so it was like these translucent beings, and they were floating. They had no bodies, and they were just like, "It's me, Brandon. It's me. I love you. I've always loved you." And I'm like, "Well, that's cool. Who the fuck are you?" And they
Uh-huh.
were just like, "It's me, Brandon. It's me." And this experience, like a dream, I forgot most of it,
And
but that felt like 15 minutes as well.
for the record, you were not on any like psilocybin mushrooms or any
No,
psychedelics.
no, I just had a neck of a Sierra Nevada beer in me,
Hmm.
and I was a pothead, so I had a little bit of pot in my
Yeah, but
system.
nothing serious.
Nothing serious, and hadn't done anything serious for. I hadn't touched psychedelics since I was a teenager,
Okay.
and so some people might be like, "Oh, it was just a flashback, whatever." It was legit. So what happened was, I came back down into the room, and everybody that was there was my friend, his brother, and my wife. And he was like, "Whoa, did you feel that energy?" And I was just like, "Huh?" And like my wife was like, "Wow, yeah, I felt that." And his brother's like, "Yeah, I felt that. What was that?" And he's like, "I don't know, bro. That was insane." And then I started like expanding out into the room, and I was just like, "Am I touching your fridge, bro?" He's like, "What?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, am I touching your wall?"
Okay.
And he was just like, "Huh?" I just felt like at one with everything, and it was really powerful. And I didn't know till 3 days later when I had the balls to call him up and ask him a few questions. He was like, "Dude, no time elapsed." He asked me who I was, and then all of a sudden it was like this energy burst, and everybody's like, "Whoa."
Wait, this happened years ago, and you only told him 3 days ago?
No, I told him 3 days after.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Because it was such a life shattering thing. He was like, it's kind of like having the rug pulled out from underneath you. I mean,
Hey,
some people call it a Kundalini awakening.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm thinking. But I mean, then again, everything's connected, bro.
Right.
So, for him, it might have been a second. For you, it might have
It
been.
felt like 45 minutes,
That's crazy, bro.
like
25,
that I
45.
remember.
That you remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's you put it up a little bit. There you
Put
go.
it up. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
That's crazy, dude. How do you think that changed your life?
Oh, everything since then. I mean, like I would be dead or in jail had that not happened
So
because
you're
I was a wild, wild man.
so you're on the wrong path. Angry, frustrated at life.
Mm-hmm.
Always fighting, I guess, on the streets. And suddenly you had a Kundalini awakening, and it just like 180'd your life.
Totally.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
If you could put it into words, how would that feel? Because I've heard other people have Kundalini awakenings,
Mm-hmm.
or just like they touch source, or just had a either out of body experience or something they can't really explain,
Mm.
and it's always a little different, but it's kind of the same.
Yep.
What words would you put it? Was it like euphoric? Was it like eye opening?
Well, so I've left out the part where the day before when I was talking to my friend and I vented to God, whatever word you want to use for that is fine. I was never really raised religious, so it doesn't offend me to use God, source,
The force.
the force. Yeah, I like that. So I asked for proof. And I said, I don't want like no shooting star bullshit. I want some real legit proof. I want like a 2 week long like acid trip experience to make me really believe. And that's actually just the beginning of it. Like the real story will come from down later podcasts.
Yeah, yeah, definitely got it. Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, it was like 2 weeks of just insanity.
That's awesome. Have you ever? I mean, I know you've done like psychedelics. Have you ever had that same experience using psychedelics?
No,
No.
no, yeah. I during my more recent years, I do it in a controlled setting, and it's led by a shaman, and it's all intention based. You go in
Yeah.
with an intention like, I want to heal this, or I want to experience joy or love or heal my relationship, stuff
Hmm.
like that. And no, the most I've ever gotten from those experiences is like visual, is like maybe like a tapestry, like kind of a Peruvian Shipibo sacred geometry type scene that's just kind of like laid out over everything, which I think you said you've gotten from just doing breath work.
Yeah, yeah. It was more like a kaleidoscope. It
Mm,
was like geometric shapes and shapes
yeah,
and say, but that's yeah, that was from just doing breathwork with Blues.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool, dude. Yeah, I went pretty deep once. Yeah,
Uh,
and you jump in the ice bath after. That feels good. But that's crazy. You've never had that experience doing psychedelics, and
yeah, no, for me it's all just it's like physical. Like I like am moving negative energies that have been trapped in me like my whole life, like childhood trauma stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like mentally I'm totally cool. I'm like just listening to music and focusing like, okay, quiet your mind, open your
yeah.
heart. I'm doing all the things that I've been trained slash recommended to do over
Cool.
time. And yeah, I don't have any cool awesome stories.
Nah, I
I mean,
mean,
I
you
do,
do,
but
bro.
I'd have to think about them.
Yeah, 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 I'm sure we'll get it out.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: from before you had that I'll call it touching source,
Okay.
and after, how were you different? How was your thought process, or like just how was the way you saw the world?
Oh, it was completely 180 changed. It was, instead of just me against the world, like Tupac,
Yeah, yeah,
it turned into just this curiosity that is gonna drive me till I'm
yeah,
put in the ground.
yeah.
It's just the universe is so fascinating. I mean, everything, like nature, everything, how the sun, everything just fascinates the crap out of me.
That's awesome, dude. So you kind of went back to childhood curiosity.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So you have that innocence to you now.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe you lost along the way when you were fighting and you were just pissed off about your knees.
That's exactly correct. Yep.
That's awesome, bro.
That's all it is. All it is letting go. That's
Yeah.
that's really what it is. It's getting out of your own way.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look at you, Mr. Joe Dispenza.
I
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
love Joe.
So I'm actually trying to do that same thing, the Kundalini awakening.
Mm.
I haven't had a full blast like you did, but I've talked to a lot of people that have, and they're able to cure whatever ails
Right.
them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's cancer. It could be depression, but I've seen people cure like this, bro. I was like, what the hell's going on? What do you think that's from?
It's well, I think that we're all basically let's see, what's the correct way to say it? We're
Connected.
all, yes, but we're all expressions of God.
Okay.
So I think, like, I don't know if it was from the Big Bang and it exploded and there's everything and we're a part of the everything, but somehow we all have like the spirit of source in us,
Yeah.
and like everything does. Every single thing
You're talking
does.
about plants and how they have a consciousness. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh yeah, to the best of my knowledge,
Yeah, to the best
because
of your
I'm
knowledge,
just
dude.
like you. I'm a rational guy. I
Yeah,
don't I
but that's
don't
a problem.
I don't go with the woo woo shit,
Yeah.
and everything I know now is considered woo woo to most individuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, the all the plants, like we work with master plants for the most part.
And what's that, by the way?
There's like a certain amount of plants that have like a more powerful energy, so to speak. Maybe they they have an actual spirit, an essence. So like even like cocaine leaves, it's like mama kuka.
What?
You know,
Cool.
ganja is Santa
Marijuana.
Maria.
Yeah,
Yep,
or
Santa Maria
yeah.
in certain traditions,
Yeah.
and all this stuff goes back forever. It's just everybody has different words to explain it,
And they
and
have a
we're all
con.
talking about the same damn thing.
Yeah, we are in different ways. That's for sure. I remember you telling me that you went to Peru for like
Mm,
2 weeks.
yeah.
Dude, tell me about that because I'm done to Peru. I'm not gonna do
Wow.
any psychedelics. I have
Uh-huh.
no intention of doing it.
Yeah, but you're doing something
Yeah,
equal.
I'm doing the 5 day dark retreat. That's starting.
Whoa.
That's like time and space
Yeah,
collapsing.
my friend just got back from that.
How was it?
He had an amazing experience.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, that's on everybody's radar right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of the hot new thing.
I'm doing that for sure.
Mm,
Because well, here's the thing. I'm not putting anything inside of me. I'm not taking any substances. Not that I'm against it. I'm not really for it either. But like Gandhi even said it, like only in solitude can you hear the whispers of truth,
Amen. Yeah.
right?
Straight up.
Because like we said, we all have like the power of God within us,
Yeah.
but you just have to get out of your own way and listen.
Yeah. I mean, every single person, we're all, that's how we're all equal. Like, yeah, we all have special gifts and this and that,
Yeah,
but really we're all just this pure diamond of a human being, and we just kind of got it all mucked up with crap.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've been to like a lot of healing ceremonies, as we'll call them.
Oh yeah, for
Have you
sure.
seen some crazy shit, bro?
Like people freaking out or something?
Yeah,
A few.
yeah. Share it with me.
Yeah. Oh gosh. There was this one where there was this girl who was um, there's a really good screening process to make it real safe, but this one girl had somehow hidden the fact that she was on I don't remember what kind of pills, but some kind of antipsychotic type shit.
Like SSDRIs, like anti
SSRIs, exactly.
SSRI. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like antidepressants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had the fear in me for hours. I couldn't shake it. I was like, breathe,
That she might die.
die or go crazy.
Wait, what was she doing though?
She was just acting crazy. She was just like all polite. I'm like, oh, thank you, this and that,
And
and
trying to
like
hang
standing
herself?
up and like just basically acting out, like breaking all the rules of like a noble silence, where you just kind of sit in solitude and you go within to explore, whatever you're there to explore.
Yeah.
And so she started out with that, and then it ended up, and this is the most extreme thing I've seen
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a ceremony, and she was like kind of kicking and like she'd be like, no, 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 like da da da. She was like kicking, like she was reliving a trauma,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then a second later she'd be all nice and calm, and it just went back and forth for what seemed like forever. I mean, really, it was only like maybe an hour, hour
That's
and a
still a long
half.
time, bro.
Yeah,
To go back and forth.
yeah, yeah. And so they take her into what they call the quiet room,
Mm.
and I'm all trying to help. I'm like, dude, I know jujitsu. You want me to?
Now you
You
didn't
want me?
choke.
You want me to
You
contain
didn't
her so
choke her out
nobody
or
gets
what?
hurt? Yeah, I'll
I'll
choke.
choke the shit out of her.
Is Brandon Style gonna have to choke a bitch?
Yeah.
The Wayne Brady. But
Yeah.
anyways, bad reference maybe. But
Not really. I liked it.
I remember that.
The
It's a
thing,
good show.
Dove Chappelle. But anyways,
Yeah,
you're
on
into the
Chappelle.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. So I literally saw like her fingers like curling backwards. I'm like, oh my god, there's like a
Demon
demon type
Yeah.
shit going on, and I still don't have a full grasp on what like,
Did
but literally exorcisms are real
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's.
to an extent.
I
They're
mean, yeah, but I've heard of
Hollywood's
stories.
done its thing to make it a little different, but
That's Hollywood, bro.
it's just a trap energy.
So for that girl, did it help her afterwards? Like, did you guys talk to her afterwards? She was okay.
Yeah, I have not talked to her afterwards. She will not be invited back.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's actually fine, and in fact, she actually had an experience like that with other practitioners, and they did not inform us of that as well. And so
They just dropped it on you guys.
yeah, like here, help her out. It's
Okay.
like
So
you
it
got to
was.
help yourself.
So it wasn't really the SSRIs. It was more like
Yeah,
she had some
she had
issues.
preconditions of
Yeah,
something.
she had some
Yeah.
issues going on
Mhm.
that she was dealing
Yeah.
with. But don't we all?
Right.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
get into that.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Don't we all? Okay, that's crazy, brother. Because I always hear the good stuff about doing like
And she was
ceremonies.
totally fine after 2 hours.
She was
And-
totally
and,
fine.
and felt better. Like probably felt like $1 million. Like
So it actually helped her.
100%.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing
the way you were
negative came about it.
the way you were going into it, like she was bad, this, that, but yeah, it helped her.
Yeah.
That's
well, in the
awesome.
moment, it was terrifying for me, and everybody else was calm. Like they're just like, oh yeah, we're working on it.
But you have that mother hen to you, bro.
Yes.
Where like I noticed when he was cooking dinner for me, and it was actually really good, and like that's awesome, bro. You even brought it to me. I was like, dude, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you have a big heart.
Thank
Like
you.
you could tell.
Yeah.
Like when someone's in trouble, you want to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. I know a lot of the tough guys like that.
Right.
I mean, I guess you're not tough anymore, or
I'm
you don't want
I'm
to
pretty
be tough.
tough. I'm like one of the best kickboxers in the state.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, tough as in like macho
Oh,
stuff.
sure.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like pumping
yeah.
their chest.
I
Like,
have
need to
I
prove
have not.
something.
I thought about it the other day. I was like, I have not been in a fight since I was a teenager.
Good.
Right.
Good. Why would you? You know? Yeah.
Violence solves nothing, kids.
Yeah. That's true, but it doesn't.
The bigger man does walk away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I have pepper spray just in case. I can't walk
Ah,
around. I do. You
nice,
never know,
nice.
man. I've
That's
used it a
right.
couple times. I don't want to hurt anyone, but like you pepper
That's an
spray 'em,
easy. Yeah, I like
they'll
that.
go down for like 10 minutes. I'm out of there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Book it.
yeah. Um, that's awesome, brother. What else? Have you seen any other crazy story or heard crazy stories?
Um. Yeah, I heard about one other one, and
What happened there?
and then I've done plenty of research online where I've heard a few things, but yeah, there was one other one where nothing crazy, nothing worth talking about. She
Okay.
just acted up kind of the same, was just kind of like confrontational a little
And
bit.
then after that, they're back to normal. We're talking
After
about
that,
ayahuasca, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If you
yeah,
don't know, yeah,
allegedly.
allegedly, yeah. Because different people have different experiences. I
Yeah,
never know, bro. I might just puke my guts out.
yeah,
I've never done it personally. Maybe one day,
yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
yeah. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. But the sensory deprivation, that I don't know. That's
Wow, that's not for everyone.
I
That
had to go
sounds
through
intense.
I had to go through a screening too, bro. And the
Really?
person knew me, the manager, so she
Mm.
kind of vouched for me. They're not just not let anyone in there, bro. Well, if you try to kill yourself after 2 days, you have some dark thoughts. Your ex-wife leaving you or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, that's some serious work.
yeah. You're
You're
not
gonna be
walking
doing.
away from that. Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna stick in some mushrooms and do it there. No, I'm just kidding. Nah,
Yeah.
like totally trip
Yeah.
out.
Get high off your own supply.
Yeah, but you're telling me that you also met some interesting people.
Oh yeah.
Just like like after I guess like your spiritual journey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, immediately after I met like a bunch of like Reiki masters and psychics and stuff like that. I just
Yeah,
coincidentally just stumbled upon them, and I was kind of hanging out with them for just
boom.
maybe like weeks, maybe months, and yeah, they did a lot of weird things.
What's weird? But I
Uh,
don't think anything's
it-
weird anymore. But
well, this one guy would like he'd like walk backwards, and he would like travel back in time, and he was like a psychic or whatever, and he would
or
tell
whatever.
me about certain traumas that happened.
And he was accurate.
It turns out he was. They're so traumatic that I still haven't processed them myself in my rational
Fully?
brain. Yep, it's still. But I've had like 6 different psychics over the last 20 years say all the same
The same thing?
exact same thing,
And they don't know each other.
and they don't. Yeah,
That's fucking crazy, bro.
yeah,
So you went to 6 different psychics. They don't really know each other, but they all told you the same thing that happened to you when you were a kid.
yeah, yeah. And it's not like I'm going to them. Like I have one psychic friend that I went to. Other than that, this was just people I stumbled across. They're like, "Oh, we love your energy," da da da. Like, and this is before like I mean, I still like I'm not on your level for sure with like meditation.
Yeah.
Like I'm still like figuring everything out.
I mean,
It's a process
I'm
that
constant. Yeah, it's always a process,
always
bro.
unfolding.
I'm constantly trying to figure everything out.
But yeah, this is before I ever meditated or anything, and yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Even if you meditate, bro, that's crazy that someone else is able to pick up on you, and let alone 6 different people.
yeah.
What do you think that's from? How do you think they get that information?
We'll have to have another psychic on. Maybe my friend, he'd be willing to do my podcast. Maybe he'd be willing to do yours. It's just a gift.
So
Like I mean, we're all like time doesn't exist really.
yeah, it doesn't. We made it up.
Yeah, and so like they're able to. I might be better off for a more professional to figure out that
No, who
one.
cares, bro? I'm just trying to get your thoughts.
Yeah, they're all magicians as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
yeah. Gut feeling. There's ways of measuring it. There's ways of improving it too.
Yeah, and some have like more like visual connections. Some have more feelings,
Yeah,
and so they
they can pick up
they
on certain
just
things.
fucking know. It's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. I have a friend too. I try to have him explain to me multiple times. He's like, I really
Yeah,
can't, bro.
it's like whoosh, right
Yeah,
over the head.
I really can't. But how do you measure that in science?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, definitely not there.
Mhm.
So I've been talking to a lot of people, scientists, about consciousness
Mhm.
and who we are, where we're from. Like they don't really have an answer, bro,
Right.
at all. And
Right.
you listen to my podcast,
Yeah.
like I keep
Love it.
blatantly asking them, like, what is it? Where does it come from? They don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic is just the science that hasn't been figured out.
Look at this, Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah.
What else? Have you been? Oh, so on your Peru trip,
Oh,
how was that?
that was pretty good. at the time, it still may be the best 2 week period of my life. Like
Really?
every day is the best of my life right now, but it was amazing. We're talking freshly killed chicken, freshly caught fish, fresh air, no air pollution, no electrical pollution.
Where were you, like in indigenous Peru, like
Yeah,
in the jungle?
I was like 45 minutes up the river from Iquitos.
I don't know where that is, but
It's the most landlocked area, maybe in the world, that has like an airport. Like you can't get there by road or anything.
you can't.
Yeah, it's boats and airplanes
Okay.
to get there. It's so thick of
How'd
a
you get there?
jungle. It's in the South Amazon basin. I flew there. I had heard about the ayahuasca,
Yeah.
and I was really curious about it. So there was actually a traveling shaman that came to Oregon. So I went up near Portland, Oregon, and did a large warrior initiation dose.
That's a big dose.
Huge. We're talking like 10 times more than you're supposed to give a human being.
Really?
Yeah,
And what did they tell
huge.
you?
They told me you're either going to go insane, you're going to die, or you're going to live the life of your dreams.
Ooh. Okay.
And I'm like, I just wanted to do a little bit. Like, what am I doing? I was like, well, life
And
was kind of rough. It was kind of, I don't think depression's the right word. Maybe like a little depression, a little anxiety. Just things weren't going smoothly. I just
yeah,
felt like I couldn't get ahead in life.
you're stuck in a
And I
cycle.
really wanted to be the best me I could be. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. I paid for this.
Yeah.
I guess I'm doing this. And that was the most intense experience of my life. I spent what felt like 15 years in hell, dying over and over again in all sorts of different ways. It was like I was going through like a black hole and being like shredded into dust and then put back together and shredded and put back together. And it felt like 15 years. It was torture. The only time I was conscious during the whole ceremony was when I was puking in my bucket.
Do you remember? You just remember puking.
I remember puking in the bucket, and then I remember them slapping me on the face saying, "Hey, ceremony's closing. We're going to go do a little ritual thing where they like planted some corn in the ground and threw some flowers." They did. I mean, I wasn't there for it, but
You're
um,
just like, fuck this.
but
I just came back from outer space.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so they did all that, and I woke up the next day and felt like $1 million.
Really?
Like I've never felt better
A
in
hundred
my
million
life to that
nowadays.
point.
Yeah.
Just $1 billion. I was like, whoa. And
Really?
yeah, and I was just like, man, I'm never doing that again. Like I'm so glad that I went through it, and I'm so glad I survived. But this is just too much for me. That was insane. Well, the other part that I remember, so I was also like forgiving everybody that I'd ever harmed, and or forgiving everybody that's harmed me, and vice versa.
Got
So
it.
everything I did to everybody, I was like apologizing for. And then the other thing that I remember was there was, oh, I didn't find out till like 10 years later, but it's like the goddess, oh gosh, Cali,
Okay.
like California, like Cali, I think.
Is
Maybe
that an Indian goddess?
yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
Hindu stuff. And it was just like this birthing woman. It was like the kaleidoscope thing. It was
Uh
like
huh.
literally like a kaleidoscope with like infinite pregnant bellies and infinite just birth and destruction going on over and over again.
Life and death.
Life and death. It was just like like just supernovas going off out of this
Lady's stomach.
infinite pregnant. Yeah, it was like whoa.
How long did this last? Like the whole 12 hours?
It takes an hour to kick in, then you're at like peak for like a few hours, and then it fades away after like six. So I would say I was probably deep in it until I went to sleep for
Yeah.
sure. Like I remember them slap me saying ceremony's over, and then I remember them slap me saying, "Hey, your brother's here to pick you up." And then I remember
That's
like
the next day.
I remember being showered by my brother and stuff.
So you're out.
I was out, and then coincidentally I lost my wallet, so I ended up getting to volunteer and go clean buckets for them the next week, and so I got to see what happened. And I saw one person that was probably exactly like me. It was just eyes closed, sitting there, nothing else, just like, whoa, just out of it,
Did you,
just gone.
did you ask him afterwards? Like, was I yelling? Was I moving?
Yeah, I asked them. They said, no, you weren't bad. They said you broke a bucket once. Because I remember when I was puking once, I was like about to give up on life, and I was like, no, you're a fucking warrior. You're a fucking warrior. And I was like slamming the bucket,
They told you this.
and they told me I broke the bucket. Well, I remember saying that and doing that,
Okay,
but I didn't know I broke the bucket
because
until
you
they
took the
told me.
Warriors, though.
Yeah, warrior does,
Yeah.
baby.
That's
Yeah.
interesting, dude.
And then so that lasted, I felt like bliss for about a month after that.
Uh huh.
And then during that, I met somebody, and I landed this job, this huge, like $80,000 Christmas light job that was going to be done in like a week and a half for a Dodge commercial shoot. And I was like, okay, this is too big of a job for me. I'm going to hire a random person. I had other friends that had Christmas light businesses, and I was like, well, let's give this new guy a chance. How cool is that to, we'll both profit like 20,000 bucks
Yeah.
like in a week, and how cool would that be? And so I went with this guy I never met. He ended up being a total piece of shit.
So
And his dad was a lawyer, and they went behind my back and ripped me off. Complete fraud, and it was kept out of the legal system. It was just civil court. And so I was in debt because I paid all his employees, I paid all my employees, I paid for all the supplies, and I was in debt like 40,000 bucks for a couple of years. Ruined my credit, and so about a year into that, I couldn't stop having ruminating thoughts about killing the guy, killing his family in front of him, killing him in front of his family, and I'm like, dude, you're not a killer, Brandon. Like, you're a nice guy, like, but I
so
couldn't stop thinking it.
so for record, you never killed anyone.
For the record, I've never killed anyone.
So we're in a desolate area
In fact,
in
all
a
my street
cabin.
fights were even nobody got seriously hurt.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, good. And then how'd you get out of that funk?
I went to Peru.
Again?
Yeah. Well, no, the first time. That's why I
Oh,
circled
okay,
around.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that was
okay.
kind of my lead into
Okay.
Peru. So I went there.
So you were frustrated,
hmm
and you're like, "Fuck this! I'm going to Peru. I'm gonna shoot up some ayahuasca."
Yeah. I'm like, I need some healing. I want the best. I researched it for like a year plus.
And you were in an angry place, and then you had a month of bliss afterwards.
Yeah, I had a month of bliss, and during that bliss, I trusted somebody too much, and they took advantage of me, which threw me back into anger for about another 9 months to a year till I went to Peru. And then, if you want me to go into Peru, it was beautiful. I told you the food and everything was clean.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing the plant medicine. I sat in ceremonies and didn't partake in any medicine for the entire first week.
Can I do that, bro? Just sit through it.
Yes, you can.
Nobody minds. Like no one's gonna get
Nope.
offended.
Nope. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally cool. That's totally legit. In fact, back in the old days, only the shaman used to drink, and everybody else just sat.
And you have to detox right before, like no
Not
pork.
if you're not. Yeah, if you're
If you're
doing
yeah,
it.
if you're doing
I
it.
mean, it's pretty much no pork for 3 days and no antipsychotic meds,
Yeah, that's
and you're safe. And then there's more of a dieta because what you put into the dieta is what they call it. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
one of my friends. I'm not gonna name him, but he did it. He had to detox for a month. He's like, I can't have sex or masturbate.
hmm
No sugar, no meat, and he said when I did it, he said take him to different dimensions. He's like he had a full on psychedelic experience.
Yeah, I think you'll go further that way. But then you could also just drink a little more.
Yeah, I guess you take a hero's dose or a warrior's dose, you're gone, dude.
Yeah, but for a first time, yeah, 2 weeks is a good cutoff to follow all the rules.
Cool. And there's a lot of people that have like PTSD from war and just like
Mm,
other trauma that have done it, and it just cured them. I actually know someone
yeah.
personally, family friend. They were a hardcore alcoholic because their family's rich, bro. So the son, they just trying to give all the money to the son. And this guy didn't have two fucks in the world, bro. He
Yeah.
didn't have any cares in the world. And they put him into rehab for like a week in like Malibu for 50 grand.
Mm,
That didn't help. Psychotherapy, all this shit didn't help. He did ayahuasca, boom, bro. Completely
boom,
gone.
just like that.
Just like that, like
Yeah,
night and day. He's
yeah.
like, I asked him what the hell's going on. He's like, bro, it's like just like some buttons in my brain. He's like, just started programming it. Yeah,
Yeah.
rewiring it.
I've read countless accounts of that, and that's what drew me to it. I was like, what? They can cure cancer, they can do this and that, but it's really the individual that's curing themselves. It just allows you to get out of your own way, so that because we're all
Yeah,
fractions of God or whatever I said earlier.
yeah,
we're all,
yeah.
we're all part of the source. We all have the power in us.
Have you done the other one? I just recently found out San Pedro.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
What's the difference, bro? Because now, I mean,
Uh,
that's a
s-
really good question because I want to know.
yeah, the diet is a lot easier. It's pretty much just like 3 days, clean up your diet. It's more gentle on you.
Is it?
Yeah, it's way more gentle. It's the active ingredient is mescaline. So I don't know if you have any familiarity with that,
Is
but
that what they made mescal out of, or it's different?
is that the alcohol?
Yeah.
No, that's something different.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a cactus. But it is a cactus too. Yeah, but anyways, it's a little bit different. It's daytime ceremonies,
Okay.
and so you know, uh,
Does it have a psychedelic effect, kind of like ayahuasca, or it's different?
It can, but not. It's totally different. It's
Like
more
how
like
so?
it's like less psychedelic, even I would say, than like MDMA.
Have to name it. So I don't really know. I guess okay.
Yeah,
So
it's classified as psychedelic,
so's
but it's
marijuana.
not exactly.
So's marijuana. But I
Yeah,
mean, I've done marijuana a couple times or weed, whatever. I've never gotten like tripping out, like talking to like aliens. You know?
yeah. On the San Pedro, which is called 𝘮𝘮𝘥𝘪𝘠, is the Quechua word for it. You pretty much you just kind of chill. It's kind of like maybe a little. I mean, it's different for everybody, and
Yeah, yeah.
every situation is different, of course, too. But for me, it's very very mild and mellow.
It's like a muscle relaxer.
Um,
What?
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's how you're kind of describing it, like a
yeah,
muscle
yeah.
relaxer,
It's
huh?
kind of got like a little muscle relaxerness to it. Have you ever done kratom?
No, bro. I've donated.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, it's very mild, very chill, very low on visuals and psychedelics for most people. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're already like a psychic or a visionary person, yeah, you're gonna,
You didn't
you
trip
could
off.
talk to, yeah, you can talk to whatever spirits you
Uh
talk
huh.
to or whatever those people do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I haven't been fortunate enough to have been in contact with any direct spirits ever. I mean, I have, but not like how we're talking here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more of like a casual feeling, a casual this. Um,
I get what you mean. You have a sensation,
you know,
but you can't put your
I
word on.
guess I have trust issues.
Mm,
I'm too rational. Sorry, folks.
nah, it's cool. Please get out of your own way. I mean, I haven't had
Yeah.
that either, but I've heard a lot of stories. Or like when someone's done raking on me, like you can kind of just tell there's someone else in the room,
Mm,
but there's really not. But there is.
right.
Yeah,
It's exactly like that. Yeah.
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 Um,
And so it's way more mellow. Ayahuasca, about you could pretty much count on like 40 to 50% of the people puking
yeah.
in the average situation, and then on the San Pedro, it's more like 10%,
Cool.
15.
Um, what advice would you have for someone that's like first time doing ayahuasca?
No, time. Give it some time. Think about it. Check in. Trust your instincts. See if it's something you really want to do. Because there's kind of like a couple of people that would want to do it. There's ones that need the healing. They got cancer. They're dying.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
can't.
know someone else that did that too, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did ayahuasca and they had cancer and it went away.
Oh my
Actually, I met her in Mexico, and I was on my way to Joe Dispenza's retreat, and she was on her way to 10-day silent retreat. That's funny you said that.
God.
She said I just randomly went to Peru, and she was Swiss, so she had money. She went to all these doctors. They couldn't help her. Like, we don't know what's going on. You just have cancer. It's just getting worse and worse. She did it, boom.
Wow.
And she's like, I could pick up on people's thoughts for a few days, and then it just went away.
Yeah.
So I was like, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Oh
I've
my
heard.
God.
That's funny. That's probably one of the craziest stories I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, apparently we can do just about anything if we
Well,
line up our emotion with our mind, with
but
everything else.
I believe, I mean, it's more challenging. I'm doing it through meditation.
Hmm.
You can do all that stuff that you talked about without any substances.
Correct.
You can't. I mean, I don't know how to get there really per se. I mean, I know with the Kundalini, bro, if you meditate more and
Hmm.
more, you learn things, bro. But there's a funny joke where I think you probably heard this, where it says there's two New Yorkers talking like, "Hey, that monk has been meditating for 20 years and he could walk on water." And the other New Yorker's like, "Yeah, but the trolley's 50 cents."
Right.
You know, like
Yeah, I've heard
you want
that
to go
one.
the hard way, you want to go the easy way, but you can still get there the same way.
Yep. That's correct. Yeah. All paths lead to the same thing.
Yeah,
They
cool.
really do.
And I always ask people these questions on the last note. What advice would you give people, bro? Because you've been down. You've really been down at one point, angry, sad,
Hmm.
frustrated. You're not happy with life, the way it's going. What advice would you give them to just help them out a little bit?
Well, we'll just bring it full circle. Cut out the sugar, cut out the processed foods, drink lots of water, take care of yourself. But the main thing is love yourself. Like, people don't know what it's like to really love themselves. Um, you just have to have a real unconditional love for yourself and not beat yourself up for all your shortcomings and stuff like that. And
Love it.
love yourself.
Love it. I love it, bro. Thank you. Thanks for so
Oh,
much for coming
yeah.
on, bro. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
you.
welcoming me into your home, ladies and gentlemen. Since you like this episode, there's many more to come. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.